It started not with a crowbar, but with a blueprint. Bruce Reynolds was a man who hated the shabby life of a petty thief. He wanted the grand design. For months, he sat in smoky London jazz clubs, whispering with a man known only as the Ulsterman, an insider who knew the Royal Mail's every secret. He told Reynolds about the Up Special. The train was a rolling bank. No guards, no radios, just a few postmen sorting letters while sitting on top of millions. Reynolds assembled a team like a general, the specialist for the signals, the muscle for the cab, and the driver to move the locomotive. They spent weeks practicing in the woods. They timed their movements to the second. They weren't just criminals. They were a dark mirror of a corporate machine. August 8th, 3 a.m. The Buckinghamshire air is freezing. The gang is tucked into the embankments at Sears Crossing. You can hear the train now, a low rumble in the earth that vibrates through their boots. Jack Mills, the driver, is dreaming of the end of his shift. He sees the signal, green, then flicker, it turns red. He slams the brakes. The massive steam engine groans, sparks flying from the wheels, until it hisses to a dead stop in the absolute silence of the wild. His fireman, David Whitby, climbs down to the trackside telephone to call the signalman. He picks up the receiver. Silence. The wires have been snipped. He turns around and a masked man is standing inches from his face. "If you shout," the man whispers, "you're dead." They drag Mills out of the cab. There's a struggle. A heavy cosh swings, crack, and Mills falls. It's the only blood spilled that night, but it's the blood that would change their destiny from gentlemen thieves to wanted men. They force the train forward to Bridego Bridge. This is the kill zone. The robbers smash the windows of the high-value carriage. The sorters inside, terrified, are told to lie face down. Then the human chain begins. 1, 2, 3, 128 sacks. They are so heavy the men are panting, their lungs burning in the night air. Each bag is a fortune. They are literally tossing a kingdom from the tracks into the back of waiting trucks. "Time!" Reynolds shouts. They leave the rest of the train, and the rest of the crew, shaking in the dark. As the Land Rovers roar away, they leave behind a silence so deep you could hear a heartbeat. They arrive at Leatherslade Farm, their secret fortress. They are exhausted, filthy, and richer than the Queen. What do you do with £2 million in 1963? You can't go to a bank. You can't buy a mansion. So they sat on the floor of a dusty farmhouse and they played. They ordered pizza and beer, and they played Monopoly using real cash. They were laughing, throwing £5 notes at each other like confetti. But outside, the largest manhunt in British history was screaming to life. The flying squad was sweeping every inch of the county. The gang realized they had to move. They hired a man to burn the farm down, to erase their ghosts. But the man took the money and ran, leaving the farm intact. When the police walked in, they didn't just find a hideout. They found the ketchup bottles, the eggshells, and the Monopoly board. Every surface glistening with the oily fingerprints of the world's most famous thieves. The fall was fast. One by one, the great robbers were snatched from their beds, from their hideouts, from their lovers. The sentences were a shock to the nation. 30 years. The establishment was terrified. They weren't just punishing a robbery. They were punishing the fact that 16 working-class men had outsmarted the crown. Bruce Reynolds fled to Mexico. Ronnie Biggs climbed a prison wall and disappeared into the sunshine of Rio de Janeiro for 36 years. Jack Mills, the driver, never fully recovered. The money? Most of it was never found. It's buried in gardens, hidden in walls, or spent in foreign lands. The great train robbery wasn't just a heist. It was the last great adventure of the analog age. A night when the red light stayed on just a little too long, and 16 men wrote a hijacked dream into the pages of history.